Hello, welcome to Mostly Off Topic Plays the One Ring, second edition. Don't know why I still keep saying that. Bit of a reduced crowd today, but we're still going to hit up a session, which would be like session 13, episode blah 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 blah. How you doing, guys?
Right? It's good to be here.
Good, thanks.
You okay up in the Great White North, Matt?
Absolutely, yes.
What's the temperature?
This is just, it's a bad day because it's been positive today.
Oh, it's been positive.
That means stuff is slowly melting. Yes, but we'll go back to minus 15 next week. No problem.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, anyway, who can remember? So we're here to play some Here, There, and Eriador, picking up from where we left off. Who can remember what happened last time?
Do some wolves.
There was some
Maybe 2 or 3.
investigation.
Yeah, so you're in the Shire. You'd been across in Little Delving in the west farthing of the Shire. Beautiful, lovely countryside, rolling hills. There's kind of chalk downs, mostly arable kind of farmland. Being in Applecross Cottage with Tolman's family, and then decided to follow the tracks of the wolves from the home, headed out into the White Downs, found a kind of not abandoned but locked up and securely left hobbit homes, and scenes and signs of wolves around and about there, but wolves that were velociraptor in their abilities to open doors. Good girl, you said to the wolf. And then you'd follow the further tracks down to a ridge in the chalk down. So what's called the King's Escarpment, King's Edge Escarpment. And you'd come down there following the tracks, and you're seeing that really thick undergrowth just by the base of the cliff's edge. So imagine the pale white of the cliff's edge in front of you, lit slightly orange by the dying rays of the sunlight as that descends off downwards. Further across, in the ways of the setting sun, there are the far downs, much further off, and there's like grazing land, rolling hills as you get between the White Downs and the Far Downs. And you've gone down this what looked to be almost like a path, and there had been the head height branches had been hacked away and the brambles removed, and you'd seen some marks of humanoids. You weren't 100% certain exactly what that was. It's not like a well-travelled path or anything along those lines. It's more like just being cut through what would otherwise be much harder to pass undergrowth. And then you come to these really thick brambles gathered at the base, and as the light had slowly faded away, you had heard from behind the brambles below the escarpment some howls of wolves rising into the cooling night. And then, echoing in their reply from behind you, more howls. Tolman and Gudrun decided that this was too much for them, and they had hightailed it up a tree and refused to come back down, leaving just the three of you to undertake the next stage of this adventure.
Well, that's swell. Okay, let's get ready, boys.
They had gathered their plot armor about them and had.
It's 2 Rangers of the North and, a Bree man, so.
And, of course,
and
a Bree pony.
Bree pony, which actually has way better in-game abilities than a Bree man, so.
Oh, he also has explicit plot armor. I'm not allowed to mess around with class features.
Yeah, you can do what you want to Gert, but feature of Bert is he just shows up no matter what you do to him.
That's right. So the night is starting to gather, and you can hear the howls going backwards and forwards. That was Old Woman Wolf number 4.
Yeah. I love how Discord just mutes your
It
voice
does, yeah.
when you make howls.
In reply.
Why does technology do that to people? You know, it cuts you off, Paul. That's the problem. Because when you reach that height of a certain, when you reach
just
a
the
certain
audio,
height,
just does it cut? All right,
Yeah.
I'll try that
Yeah.
again. Okay.
shame on you, Discord.
Is that better?
No.
I'm hoping the local recording will capture it because it gets recorded from the mic rather than really through Discord. Is it?
But I applaud you.
Well, you can imagine
Get-
wolves howling. You've
Yeah.
seen enough. You've seen enough of the Hobbit films.
Oh yeah, we got it.
What are you doing, guys?
Hey,
So,
can we tell how
go on.
far away? Can we tell how far away they are to us?
So the ones behind the the ones at the bottom of the escarpment are behind this undergrowth, and you can hear it kind of almost echoing off the cliff face. You can make an awareness or a tracking or a survival roll. Pick one of those to kind of estimate
Yep.
the howling coming back.
I'll be happy to do that.
Bert's ears are kind of like picked up, and
Yes.
his nostrils are flaring. This is clearly my Natural Animals of the World impression episode.
Very good. You're making David Attenborough proud.
Here we have
Or
the lesser
confused.
spotted Bree pony in its
Okay,
natural
I'm rolling
habitat.
for my. Yeah, this is good.
It's very difficult
So
for the
my-
camera crew to be able to capture these shots. They've spent 3 weeks. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's okay. I got 21.
21.
One Tengua, which is the great success, right?
21, great success, yeah.
Yeah. Arthaniel has awareness 3, so he's not the pony with his ears and stuff.
How do you want to spend the Tengwa? Do you want to do it faster? Do you want to learn more?
Yes, I would like to learn more about the potential enemy that we're facing.
Okay. Esteldor, did you and Gert, did you guys?
Oh,
attempt?
awareness.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, it's up to you.
Oh, yeah, I might as well.
I think we might have lost Gert.
Oh jeez.
Oh no, you're back.
He's back.
Oh, okay. No, that's I didn't hit my team.
Yeah, okay.
Dead on my number. I've got.
Okay. So Arthaniel and Esteldor, with your skills, both natural and trained by your times as Rangers of the North, you think that the wolves from behind you are probably just on the edge of the woodland before the escarpment, so 10 to 15 minutes away, you estimate, so close, but not immediately upon you. And Arthaniel, as you're listening and paying attention, you're actually able to pick out some of the noises behind that howling, and you can almost hear some creatures shuffling and scurrying underneath the thick brambles.
Okay. So, guys, the ones at the back are a bit away. I propose we push forward, try to tackle the first group ahead of us, so we don't get flanked.
Agreed.
Yeah, whatever the Rangers think tactically is what Gert is going to do.
So if you imagine that you're in light woodland, kind of deciduous trees, so reasonably paced out, but there's quite thick scrub underneath, and you've come down this what you thought maybe was like a sheep track or what have you, and realised actually no, it's been pushed through by humanoids. And then there's this thick, really quite dense brambles in front of you, and not like the not like blackberry kind, but much more thicker, sharp thorns about this, quite thick, almost like the width of your arm, branches twisting around, and there's about maybe a foot off the ground where it's mostly pine needles and dropped thorns. So it would be really hard for you to force your way into that. It looks like there's almost like a little bit of a path that skirts around the edge, but it could just be the fact that no undergrowth can grow there because of the overhanging trees and the brambles and such like. And Arthaniel, you can hear something kind of scratching its way underneath. You would estimate that the brambles are 10 to 15 feet deep, given how you get between you and the escarpment. And they're quite high as well. They're probably 8 foot high. So they're almost like a thick hedge of thorns in front of you. You could, if you're on your hands and knees, commando yourself like through. Or you can kind of have a look to see if there's another way around. As the the gloom starts to gather, your eyes are starting to adjust a little bit. It's really hard for you to see too far around.
Can I do, for example, explore roll to see if this in the immediate area, if there's a similar sort of passageway? Or
so if you were to do explore, you'd have to kind of go off and take a look, and the explore roll would be how successful you were. If you were just like looking around like that, that's more of a scan roll.
Okay. But there is a potential path that I think I could take.
So if you imagine that you've got the escarpment there, and that reaches, say, 40 feet upwards. Think of like Standage Edge in terms of how it reaches upwards. Yeah. And then there's this thick brambles that you estimate is somewhere between 10 to 15 feet, given where you are from the escarpment, and that is largely impassable. And then you've got the woodland kind of like that reaches up and over it. So some of the branches reach across onto the top of the brambles, but between the brambles and like the edge of the trees, there's like a little bit of a perimeter. And you can't decide whether that's been created or whether it's just a natural perimeter because of the stuff. You can only see a few, a little bit in either direction, but you can kind of see that the brambles move in and out. So at some point they're not as deep, and at other points they're a bit deeper. So maybe there's a place where you can kind of get squeeze yourself through, kind of thing. But it's really hard for you to estimate in the gloom at this moment in time. You have to spend some time either exploring it, or you could have a quick look around, which would be a scan roll. It's up to you guys.
Okay. Do we want to go through? Because if we want to go through, we have to take a gamble. I can have a quick look around for the best path, but if I am to find a really good path, it will take a while.
Time's not on our side, maybe.
The benefit for me, at least, if we try to squeeze in through, we kind of have a little bit of defensive position if it gets really thick with wolves.
So squeezing in through is really you getting down in your bellies and kind of like trying to scrabble underneath. Trying to force your way in is going to be really very hard.
So we can't do it with the pony, I guess, and we don't want to leave that behind.
Gert is actually, Bert is actually pulling a little bit back away. He's like backing away. His nostrils are flaring. His ears are up. He's smelled something on the wind. Heard the howling.
I suppose we don't want to burn the hedge, do we? Because it's the Shire. So.
No, probably not. But
you can smell what you think is probably elderberry tea, and you've just been hit by some crumbs as Tolman and Gudrun seem to have cracked into some fruit from the tree.
Yep.
Oh, and that might be pipe smoke actually just wafted its way down.
Yeah. That figures. So the alternative, I think, is we prepare for defense because they will get to us. So if we can somehow try to find a position around the perimeter, try to explore it as a defensive, that's the only option. Because I understand Gert.
Okay, make explore rolls to kind of.
Yeah.
And are you trying to like hide so you can ambush things coming out? Is that?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Okay, so that would be stealth
okay
rolls.
because. Yes, so I can use stealth instead. Yes.
Yeah, so if you're trying to get yourself into a position where you could be hidden behind a tree, whatever, so that you can ambush whatever's coming from underneath the hedge, then that would be stealth rolls.
Yes, and I suspect maybe these crumbs coming from the top aren't such a bad idea, guys. You know, they could distract the wolves a little bit. So, unbeknownst to them, they have been playing a little bit of a lure role. But let's hope they won't watch this stream in the future. Yes. Okay.
What you doing? Putting your jam on before your cream? Tolman says.
Yeah. Yes, they are ready for combat. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100% ready.
So yes, indeed.
Okay, so
I think that's the best way. I want to go stealth.
I'll make Bert's stealth roll. He rolls 2 feat dice and 6 success dice. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So with the favored, I take 2 feet.
Yep.
I take both my feet.
You put both your feet.
And I roll them. Okay. I have 3. So here goes. Yes. Hello, Gandalf. So Gandalf.
He's joined in with Tolman and Gudrun.
I play sneak attack.
Throw some cones at
Gandalf. So I pick Gandalf, and however the 3 normal dice, they don't have any good results. So there's no tango, nothing. It's just like a common success, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Esteldor.
Yeah, I'll roll stuff as well. Yeah. I'm going to use Point of Hope.
Yeah. Oh, your Fellowship Hope is refreshed, by the way.
Cool.
So it'll be 4 points of the Fellowship Hope.
Okay.
So you 3 plus 1 from Gert.
I will make a note of that.
Which one is that? The Fellowship score? Which one is it on the sheet?
Oh, your Fellowship score generates the Fellowship pool, I think it's called.
Yeah, Fellowship.
Yeah.
Score, yeah. So mine is basically 2, and you both contribute 1.
Yeah, so you've got a Fellowship pool of 4, so you can spend those.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've still got 10. 10 hope of my own on it as well. So I'll use the hope. So
okay.
I've got 4d6. Ooh. Yeah, I needed 17. I got 19, and one of them's a 6, so I got 10.
Okay. So let's find out what Gert rolls, because you can use that Tengwa to to give it as a success to Gert if he was to fail.
No need. I hit my TN exactly.
Ooh.
Cool. So
and I only rolled, the 1, but my 1 on stealth. But I thought that if I failed, I would just stand out in the open and be like the decoy. But
don't worry about that. We got that covered.
I did it. Got my 14 straight up.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So how do you want to spend that Tengwa, Esteldor?
Well, I'm already stealthed, so the stealthy one would no good.
Yeah, so maybe you get into a really advantageous position. So you first, if you're going to attack and ambush, your attack roll would be favoured or something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So Arthaniel is located just a little bit back. Do you guys don't have any ranged weapons, do you? So you're all gonna have to get in positions where you would have to close combat.
Gert has a bow. I just
okay,
never
bow.
use it.
Yeah, same here. I've got a bow, but I've only got 1 dot in bows. I've got 2 in swords.
Yeah, okay, but you could do opening volleys then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Arthaniel have anything ranged?
I have a spear.
Okay, so maybe you do. So Arthaniel's kind of like to the side, behind the thick trunk of a fairly large tree. Esteldor, you've kind of crept down to one side, your bow ready,
Yeah,
quite
already.
kind of pushing up against the thick, and Gert is hiding behind Bert, who is not wholly happy about this, but is thinking tree thoughts.
Yeah.
And as you stood, you can hear, and then, and you can see the white paws of this wolf coming through, fur protecting it from some of the thicker thorns, and its snout kind of looking around. It kind of starts to emerge. Then a couple more wolves emerge out. They're about halfway out, so they're kind of half in the hedge, kind of like on the haunches spread out underneath as they're coming through. What do you want to do? You can ambush them. They don't seem to be aware of you all. Or maybe you can just have a chat. I don't know. Maybe it's a council rather than combat.
Ambush
we
the
were
good,
prepped for it. Gert's gonna wait for the rangers to start the volley, and
Should we wait for them to come out fully, Matt, or halfway?
Yeah,
So
we
they're
want
stuck.
them.
So you guys can't chat to each other, so you need to decide. So Esteldor,
Yeah.
are you firing or not?
yep, because Gert is looking at the rangers.
You said they're all halfway. The bodies are halfway
So
through.
one
the
of
gap.
them's maybe 3/4 of the way through, and two of them they're about half of the way through. They're reasonably large wolves, not especially enormous, and they, as far as you guys can see, they're like wolf wolves. There's a dark tinge to their muzzles. There's thick, mad fur as they seem to have been eating something, and they're like spread on their bellies, scrunching their way forward as they come through the thick hedges. One's 3/4 of the way through,
Yeah.
two are half of the way through. The ears are kind of like picked up and sniffing away into the cold night.
So there's
I
a.
will-
Go on, sorry, Matt. Go on.
No, it's okay. It's just if Esteldor hesitates a little bit, I can attack. So whichever way it goes, if you want to
Okay.
go first, I'm happy to go. I don't know.
No.
how
Feels
the
to me like
initiative
Esteldor was hesitating a little bit there. So,
A little bit, yeah.
I'll just throw it because I'm thinking maybe somehow they block the entrance or something, just to pin maybe some of them. I don't want them to get comfortable through and then be in a position to attack.
Okay. So you're going to get your opening volleys,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
you'll get a close combat round when they're still like trapped a little bit. So they'll miss their ability to fight back. So they'll
Oh,
only
dear.
fight in the second combat round because that's essentially the advantage you get from ambushing them.
Nice. Okay. Nice. So yeah, I'll throw a spear.
Okay, so you throw a spear.
And can you do these special attacks, or is this just in close combat? These special
Opening
attacks.
volleys. You get whatever special attacks you get for your. So you don't get to take a combat action, but if
Yeah.
you've got a Tengwar, you can spend that to do whatever the spear allows you to do.
Yeah. Okay. So it's normal ranged. Okay, normal ranged
Yeah.
weapons. Okay. I'm just going to do a
And
normal
these
attack.
creatures, these wolves don't have any parry, so it's whatever your normal target number is. It's not modified by anything for their parry.
Yeah. So the spear is. No, I'm just sorry. It's just these reward and virtues. That was kind of my question. Do you know if they're applicable
So do you have any reward of virtues on your spear?
Yes. Because that was my main weapon that I was using. Sorry.
Okay, so it's keen. So it's whatever keen.
Yes.
Will apply.
I have that noted. Yes. Okay, so I could get some of that. Okay. So yeah, the weapon is keen, and also I am dour-handed.
Yep.
But that's, I don't know if that applies, like heavy blows, and can you do things like that, or pierce blows?
Yeah, so it's a normal attack with your spear. You just happen to be throwing it. So if heavy-handed lets you, dour-handed lets you do that, and you can spend 10 wars normally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here goes. I will spend a point of hope for that because I want to go in with a bit of a bang, I guess. So I will spend a point of hope. I'm swift. I don't know if I can invoke my swift. I'm seeing these wolves coming out. Okay.
I mean, you can do it in a very swift way, but it's not going to give you any benefits.
No, that's okay. Okay. Fair enough. So I will roll that, but point of hope gives me another die, right?
Yep.
All right. Any bonuses from attacking from sneaking?
You get an opening volley first, and they don't get to attack in their first close combat round.
Okay, so I have to take that risk. I'm doing this pierce blow with a special attack.
So that would be, if you get a Tengwar, you can spend the Tengwar to use the pierce ability, which adds 2 to your attack roll. Therefore, you're more likely to get an edge.
Yes, exactly. So the way I written here in my notes many months ago, if I get a 5, but I need to have a Tengwa.
Yes. Yeah. So you don't have to declare you want to do that before
Yes.
you attack.
Yeah.
You can spend the Tengwa to invoke that ability.
Okay.
I mean, it's that long since we've had a combat, isn't it?
This is it. I have a Tengwa. I have it confirmed now. Because I remember last time I didn't, and I was very disappointed. There was a troll that was laughing at me when I missed him, basically. But anyway, so there is a Tengwa now, and the feat die shows 5. So that means I read about this because spear gets +3 for pierce. So this is a piercing blow.
Okay.
On whatever he doesn't have a name. Wolf number 2, please.
Oh, it does have a name.
Oh right, okay.
You don't know it.
Okay.
But you've selected wolf number 2. Okay.
Yes. So
you'll do your endurance damage.
My endurance damage. So my endurance is 25.
No, the damage from your spear. So whatever the damage rating of your spear is, which
it's
will not be
one-handed.
25.
No, sorry. Yes, it was a good try though. And 14.
Yeah. Okay. That's not
so
your
14.
damage. That's an injury. It'll be.
Sorry,
4.
4. Damn it. Sorry, I can't read now. Today I can't read.
Okay.
But I get some extra super damage, right?
So now it gets to make a protection roll. So you've done 4 damage. Okay. And it gets to make a protection roll, and it is going to roll this many dice. So what's the target number for
Injury?
Injury, yeah.
Well, since I'm using one hand, I'm assuming it's a thrown weapon, so it's 14.
14, okay. And it's got that, and it spends a paint of hope. It spends a point of hate to try to get an extra dice.
Yeah.
That will be more dice than it should have. And because I've got the dodgy dice, that 11's actually a 1, so it fails. So you do a piercing blow to it.
Hello. Now we're talking.
Does that mean when you roll, do you roll a Gandalf? And
yes, I've reversed them, so the
bad things happen.
counts as the success for me.
Yeah.
So this scrabbling, it says in Wolf, "Hey, Wolf 3, do you smell something strange out here?" Wolf 2 says, "I think you're right. I think you might be right," and then gets hit in the head by a spear. So the glint of the forenost fired steel that Arthaniel has on the shaft, the keen shaft of his spear, straight into the head of the wolf. Just collapses down, dead from the wound it receives. The spear shaft sinks into the wolf's head.
Yes.
The other
So
wolves try to react, but Esteldor and Gert, you get to go.
Okay. I'm just gonna shoot my normal bow.
Yep.
I'll spend the pot of my hope as well.
Okay.
So I'll get two. So I'll get 2 d6. So I've got 9 left. Here we go. Oh. I was aiming. Did you say there was a white wolf as well?
I didn't particularly call out a white wolf. None of the wolves are especially. There's no special characteristics of them.
Oh, I missed anyway. Yeah, I missed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Esteldor, but shoots, skids off the kind of surface of the forest floor.
Okay.
Get it.
Since I'm going last, can I invoke patient? Patient hunter.
Technically, you can't invoke in a combat, but yes,
That's fine.
you demonstrate in the same way that Arthaniel demonstrated how swift he was by going first. You demonstrate your patience by hanging back.
All right. I'll spin a point of personal hope, and we'll see how I do with this bow I've never used.
Yeah. Okay. Esteldor, Gert's hold it the wrong way.
You're like, okay, I got a Tingor for one. And let's see. So 17. So I actually just hit the 17 I needed for my combat on the bow.
Cool. The arrow thuds into the flank of the wolf.
Okay, so the damage, it says 3.
Yep.
But I rolled a Tingor, so I guess I can use that to pierce.
Okay, so that will give you a +2. I can't remember what pierce gives you for a bow.
Piercing,
Pierce
pierce.
gives
You mean
+2
like
for a
piercing
bow.
blow?
+2 for a bow.
Yeah, piercing.
So that would mean so depending upon what you got on the feet dice, if that would meet your edge rating or not. No, so you could. So you can always heavy blow, which would raise the additional damage by your strength rating.
Okay, let's do that. A heavy bow, we'll call it.
A heavy bow. Cool. So how much damage?
Strength rating 3.
So 6 damage.
Yep. Yep, 6 damage.
Okay, thuds into the flank of the wolf. Cries out in pain. Everybody make awareness rolls.
Everyone make awareness rolls. Okay.
Gert's
Oh, hello. I play sneak attack Gandalf again. Don't.
Whatever it is, Gert dropped something and it's digging around in the dirt
okay.
for it, so.
I met my target number and I got a Tengwar.
Okay, so we'll say Esteldor, as these creatures cry out, you can hear the other wolves almost cry out at a similar time, and then you can hear the howling, and then it feels like they're closer than you imagined that they would be at this point, and it's almost kind of like as if they know or sense something is happening with their other pack members. So now, what do you want to do? Now in the close combat, you've lost the, you've used your opening volleys, so now we get to choose stances. So what stances do we want to go into? Arthaniel stance.
Yes, I just want to ask a question. So from that stealth kind of attack where we have ambushed them,
Yep.
did they? Are these any wolves left?
There are 2 wolves left.
Okay. I'm just saying because it says here if we have ambushed them, they lose 1 die on all combat rolls in the first close quarters round. So in the first round, we hope to get them, weakened a bit.
No, I don't know what you're looking at, but the rules I see for ambushing enemies say if the ambush attempt is successful, the surprised enemies won't be able to make opening volleys nor to take actions in the first close quarter round.
If the ambush attempt is successful, Okay, so I think we're reading the same. So I'm 95, page 95?
Yep.
Okay. So if it's 95 then, so maybe there was some, this is silly, but would that be any change like that? So it's the top of the second column, top of the page 95. If the ambush attempt is successful, the surprised enemies won't be able to make opening volleys and lose 1d on all combat rolls in the first close quarters round. You don't have that.
I do
It's
not,
not
but I have.
No.
I'm looking at the book. Let me go and see if they got errated.
Yeah, so this is it says the third printing. This is what they released. I'm sorry for geeking out on this too much, but this is it was updated 15th of January this year. I didn't even know that they did it. They just keep sending these updates, and I'm thinking, it's just nonsense. Why would they send it? But clearly they made a change. Let me share my screen. So that's
They made the change because they knew Matt was going to need this.
Yes, exactly.
But I think it's worse.
Okay.
Because they'll get to make actions, albeit with 1 dice left. I would have to click the watch the stream button.
I think so. This is apparently it's live now. So apologies for any offensive text you may find on this. I take no responsibility.
No, but that I think the second paragraph leaves it in the hands of the lore master.
I'm happy to house rule it though. I just.
The ambush is the surprise enemies won't be able to make opening volleys and lose 1 dice on all combat rolls in this close quarters round. Okay, we'll go with the most recent one.
Because I'm really heartbroken because that means that the book I have downstairs in shrink wrap is already useless, really.
Not useless. I'm just going to write on mine. I'm going to do it with just this fountain pen here.
Yeah. Get a Sharpie. Get a Sharpie.
Hey, am I ever writing in any book ever? Can't bring myself to do it. So they lose 1 dice in their close combat rolls, but they get them, which is good. Okay, do you want to stop watching? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Do you want to?
Can I just? How do you stop this thing? There you go.
There you go. Look at that. I mean, that's going to make my edit even more difficult than it normally is. But there you go. So, what are you doing?
All right.
There's 1 wolf with a spear embedded in its head. If you were dwarves and had knowledge of medicine, you would suspect that it's in its nervous system, and you could kind of just move it and make it twitch. But unfortunately, the advanced medicine of the dwarves is not known to you. No. There's 1 wolf which has got an arrow in its flank and it's bleeding quite heavily from that, and then there's 1 wolf that's kind of scampering up, which it is quite surprised that it's able to do something because it thought it was going to lose a turn, but it's up for it now.
Oh no!
It's sent an email through to Free League, kind of like thanking them for their generosity.
One of the Rangers of the North says, "Come on, you can do it. You can make it to me."
It's Arthaniel. He says it, not me.
Arthaniel's like, "Come on, you can. I believe in you. I believe in you.
Come on, kill me now. Come on, kill me. Do it. Do it."
Arthaniel stood there going,
"Yes." Arthaniel feels pumped about this spear attack, which means that he doesn't have a weapon currently that he would like to use, but he has this crazy sword. So I'll go into the forward stance. Sorry.
Forward stance, okay. Esteldor.
I might as well go forward for the first go.
Forward.
Till I get beaten.
Open for me.
Open. Okay. So.
Sorry, Paul. Did you say we get any bonus because we've jumped them?
So the bonus you get for jumping them is
just the first.
They don't get an opening volleys if they were able to.
Okay.
And in the January printing of the rules, they lose the dice in the close combat as opposed to losing the whole of their turn.
Cool.
There we go.
I guess it is a bit but maybe more realistic, because if you would have lost the opening volleys and also the first round, it's the ambushing is really serious. Like you can really inflict some damage. But
Yeah, does it say the same if player heroes get ambushed as well? Do you lose a dice as opposed to lose your turn?
The company's ambushed, so you may have to make a okay. So if the company is ambushed, you have to make an awareness roll.
Yep.
And if all the players that fail, they've been caught off guard. They won't be able to make opening volleys nor take actions in the first close combat
that's
round.
It's
So
asymmetrical.
so they attack, but no actions.
Oh man.
Yeah, because we're the heroes. I mean, come on, who cares about the wolf number 2, right? The guy doesn't even have a name anymore.
Oh, that you know, that you can pronounce.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Is his name.
Kind of a well-known scholar in some wolf circles.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Does awful files. Anyway, Arthaniel, Esteldor, you both drawing weapons, racing forward. Are you drawing the weapon of your ancestors, Arthaniel?
Oh no.
Life is too short to worry about such consequences and such trivial things. We have real danger in front of us, gentlemen. So excuse me, but I have to do this. And with that, I just take the
With
crazy
that, he
sword.
probably has to go into his backpack and dig it out from where.
Yes.
He
The
said.
moment.
He says with a barely concealed smile on his face, "I have to do this."
That's right.
His face in half shadow. Yeah.
You grip the handle of the sword. A handle worn over centuries of use.
Sorry, did you say abuse or?
Use. And you feel strength flowing into you. Just almost sounds of combat and horses rearing and snarls of orcs. And then pumped by you race into combat with the wolves. Okay, right. So Arthaniel, Esteldor, who wants to go first?
Do we go by?
You get to
choose.
You're both in forward stance.
Forward stance.
Just roll the d6. Who goes first?
Or you can choose. I don't mind. Up to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Arthaniel is swift.
Yes.
He is.
Yeah.
But I am bold apparently. And
As is Arthaniel.
Yes. Not much difference between the rangers. Yeah, you go ahead if you want.
Esteldor is also true-hearted. And Arthaniel's a burglar.
Arthaniel.
Yes, because I just have burglary, so I yes.
I mean, if he's got to get the sword out somewhere, I can charge him first.
Yeah, okay, so yes, as Arthaniel's retrieving his sword from the depths of his pack, Esteldor races forward. There's one with the arrow in it, and there's one that's dead with a spear in its head, and there's one that's just kind of like untouched by human hand.
I'll go to the untouched one because that's the one that I shot at and missed.
Yes,
so,
yes.
I'll go in two-handed with my longsword.
Yeah, your father's sword.
Yes. So, come on.
The wolf is still kind of like belly down. It's just starting to spring up. So I'm going to say that it's not going to spend a point of hope to use its snake-like speed because it's not quite in a position to yet.
I've got 15, which beats my target number, and I've got a Tengwa.
Okay. What do you want to do with the Tengwa?
Where's the
So with the sword, you get a +1 to pierce, and you can do a heavy blow.
Probably heavy blows better, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, use your strength rating. You've
Thing.
got, you're using two-handed, so you get your strength rating +1, as well as the normal damage of the sword.
So damage is 5.
Nice.
Nice.
Injury rating, it says 16/18, so I think it's 18 because I'm two-handed.
Yeah, but it's not a
I don't-
piercing blow, so it doesn't have to make a protection check.
Okay, so 18 for injury roll. But say +1 onto the injury roll, did you say?
No, so unless
Injury
you've got
total.
a 10 or a Gandalf on your feat dice,
Yeah.
or can use the pierce function to get +1, it's not a piercing blow, so it's just normal damage. But you're spending the Tailwheel to do a heavy blow, so you add your strength rating to the damage, and then you get a +1 to your strength rating because you're using your sword two-handed.
Oh, sorry. So that means the damage is actually 12.
12.
Yeah, because I'm strength rating 7. Yeah.
Okay, so you race across, kind of to the wolf, seeing it starts to turn around, and almost like an axeman hewing through a log, you just swing straight down, and your sword bites into the neck of the wolf, deep, and you feel it cleave through the spinal cord as it starts to twitch. Blood spurts everywhere, comes kind of up onto your arms and up onto your shoulder, and you kind of like now have to just hack your sword a little bit out. The body of the wolf just goes limp.
Cool.
Arthaniel, you've recovered the sword.
Okay.
You can
Very
see
good.
this blood spurting up. Esteldor's wild look in his eyes, a little bit of sweat just beading down as it's just pulling out. It's got a little bit of like spine attached to his sword as he kind of like drags it out of the body of the wolf. The one with an arrow in its flank from Gert kind of like is looking over at you, glint of moonlight in his eyes.
I don't got my sword. Where's my sword?
Very good. Yeah.
Esteldor's
This is
sword,
nice.
smeared in blood and gore.
Very nice.
Esteldor didn't get it out of a plastic bag though. He like drew it out of his sheath.
Yeah, he didn't say that.
Oh, that's pretty cool though. I like it.
Yeah. So if I make the attack,
Yep.
my sword is not, my sword skills are not very good. So here we go. I got
Okay.
+1 from the stance, right?
Uh-huh.
That's okay. Yeah, this is going badly. I mean, I guess this is how it was intended. So I rolled a Eye of Sauron, and so this is a
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
the sword will consume me now.
No.
Yes, and the fourth. There's not even discussion about success. Maybe I should keep this sword in the backpack.
Okay, so you roll an Eye of Sauron, and you roll an Eye of Sauron, and you don't succeed. So Gert.
Yep. Amazing as it looks. Yes.
Arthaniel, silhouetted against the trees. He's just thrown his spear straight into the head of one wolf. It's pulled from nowhere. This ancient sword. Like a king of old, he rises. Forward, men, forward! As he races towards the wolf. He has his sword raised above. The wolf looks up at the impending doom just as Arthaniel trips a little bit and skids into the side of the thorns, all down his side like this. It skitters off the wolf's hide.
Oh.
The wolf takes advantage of this and leaps up from having crawled out of the undergrowth at Arthaniel, rolling one less dice, but spending a point of hate to get that dice back. So it's got that many hate. still with its arrow lodged in its shoulder, it leaps up trying to go for Arthaniel's neck. It unfortunately rolled an 11, which is not going to be good enough. It leaps up, but it can't quite make there as Arthaniel stumbles a little bit to the side. Gert.
All right. So seeing this, Gert Gertz was kind of expecting Arthaniel to just kind of, after that spear throw, he was expecting this to be over.
Yeah.
And maybe even a little bit to himself, he's going to try and enhearten everyone. And I'll spin a point of personal hope to hopefully bring this home. But it says, steady, Rangers. These may not be mere wolves, but we are stronger than them. Okay, well, I got one Timor, and I got a Gandalf. So I got
Good man.
6, 11, 17 plus a Gandalf, so like 29.
Okay. So that would be a piercing blow.
Yep. And I'll use that Tingwar. So everyone next round gets a +1d for forward stance, and the Tingwar means that open stance also gets the +1.
Very nice.
Thank
you. What endurance does it take? What damage does it take?
There's no damage. It was just it's my open stance ability to enhearten everyone. So we all now get a +1 dice in the next round for
This is on
all
top
combat.
of.
Yes,
It's
on top of
what I
forward
have
stance.
with the forward stance. Wow,
Yep.
nice.
Yeah, this is extra.
Yeah, okay, yes, yeah, you're using the Enhearten from Rally Comrades, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Rally Comrades, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, top of the round, the wolf has made its attack back. I acted out of sequence, but it's fine. So, stances, you guys?
I'll stay forward.
Forward.
Yeah, same
Forward.
here.
Gert's gonna move to forward stance now.
Forward.
Kind of shoulder to shoulder. Do this
Face
together.
Forward. You hear from above you, could you pass the cucumber sandwiches, please? Who wants to go first?
What was it before? Who went before first?
I went first.
Esteldor went first.
You guys can choose.
All right.
Between-
Yeah, I'll go. I'll get my embarrassment out of the way then.
Okay, Arthaniel recovers himself,
Yes.
enheartened by Gert's words.
Still very embarrassed by his misfortune, but he doesn't blame the sword. It must be the wolves or something. He will slowly start to believe it's probably definitely the sword and not his superior sword skills. But nonetheless, he will continue with an attack. And yes, with a new resolve.
And you get
I have now
+1
3.
dice, from the Enhearten.
Yeah, so we got 3. What can go wrong, right? Okay, now this is not funny, right? Because I also rolled this out of Sauron and I missed again.
Oh no, you should have said that. What did you say? Oh,
Why?
come on, man.
Why?
And my roll is like, okay, I got 9, okay, but it's still a bit short though. Maybe I should just stay and live in these brambles then. So I probably just fall back in them.
Yeah, the
Face
wolf is
first
springing
this
up at you, and you're not quite able to kind of like work a proper attack. Esteldor.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll hit it.
I'm assuming that
I'll
you're
just-
okay with Esteldor going next.
Oh yeah, is that okay?
yeah,
Good.
yeah, of course.
Esteldor's like, no.
It's like after you.
No, after you. No, I insist.
No.
Very well. Oh, Paul, I forgot that my swords fell handy, fell weapon, so I hadn't added on the +2 to my injury
Okay.
injury roll. It says as well.
Okay.
But anyway, so I've got 3 Ds. Actually, I've got 4 Ds because I've got base 2, 1 from forward, and 1 off Gert.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Got 18, so I beat my target number.
Yeah.
And I got 2 6s.
Very nice.
So
What did you get on the feet dice?
a 3.
Okay.
Is it best just to go heavy blow again?
Probably is, yeah.
Yeah, let's go heavy blow again.
Describe what you do to this wolf as you smack it into the next world.
Okay. I suppose I'll charge over to help the guys. I think, yeah, I'd probably swing down my sword onto the point where Gert shot his arrow into it, so it sort of pushes the arrow in deeper as well, and just like hacks into the wolf's shoulder, getting covered in blood again.
So as the wolf is jumping up at Arthaniel's kind of trying to get a swipe into this. Esteldor comes across, side swipes down, kind of through the arrow of Gert, smashing it further in. Yeah, it says, and then swings through, cutting an artery. Blood spurts kind of up a little bit, all over Arthaniel's shoes as well, and then it just down.
I put my boot on it as I pull my sword out as well at the end. Ugh. I didn't know they have this much blood in them. Ugh. Ugh. Spits out blood as well.
The wood is quiet. You can hear nothing. And then much more close still. Maybe the other end of the track that you start to come down. What are you doing?
Can I just get out of the bloody brambles, please, and get this stuff off my face? This is embarrassing.
Don't forget your spear as well.
Oh yes, that's it.
Yeah, you pull the spear out. There's gore and gristle attached to it. Blood out of the top of the wound.
Yes. So I very carefully place the magical sword with superior power in the very deep, on the bottom of my rucksack.
Mm-hmm.
And I just get the spear ready.